All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back here this Thursday afternoon, April 25th. I think I'd mentioned earlier in the week. This week is flying by, but I think it pumped the brakes on that for a little bit. It definitely feels like a Thursday now. Great to see all of our students, at least. Louis, Charlene, Andrea, had Kathleen just before. Roger, I was speaking to earlier today. Aim, got Abdul, got John, Chuck, got Jeff, got all of our students here just joining us. So, folks, I just got back to my desk maybe like 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago at most. What couldn't have been better timing, I guess. But this just goes to show a couple of things. A, we can't cry over spilt milk earlier in the morning if we don't get our way, because you never know what's going to come across our plate later on, right? So even earlier today, I was saying just with how dead and slow it was, honestly, it was just a good time, a good day to get some errands done, go for a run. I ended up kind of rolling my ankle a couple nights ago. Last night, actually, it was. Yeah, more of a walk than a run for me, but I took a quick 45-minute hour break. I got back about 45 minutes, 30 minutes ago, and walked right into this back tree here. So, it led to a nice re-break. I missed it at first when it got halted. It popped up towards 675, basically, my line's at right there. I got in right off 675 on the re-break here. So it ended up leading to a way better push than I thought it would make, just because it was up a lot already. I thought there was a case to see a false breakout. So the more it popped up as quickly as it did, I just scaled out. I just kind of took part out at like $7 even it was. Then the other half at like 725, 728 as it ended up pushing up a little bit higher. But it goes to show that, again, you never know what's going to come across your plate heading into the later parts of the morning, early afternoon. I missed out on CLSK, missed out on Riot, the miners earlier today. I'm not in those right now. But I'll tell you what, back, we're going to put on our watch list here heading into the afternoon. It's hard for us not to at this stage. I'll check out the news out on the trade here in a moment. I'll tell you what, I'm actually wearing a larger set of finger splints. I messed up my fingers also a couple weeks ago. Tough to write right now. So I have back on our watch list, at least for the time being. Now, let's actually check out the news, like we said. So we're coming off the phase 1 classes earlier in the week. Now, if you're a student, I see Andrea here joining us, gold student, Chuck, Abdul, We got a bunch of us. Brent, I see, Philip M., Joyce, diamond student, Ray, diamond student, new diamond student, might I say. Just at least all of our gold, platinum, diamond students, you have access to the phase 2 stock course lined up at 3:05 Eastern. Well, in phase 1 earlier in the week, we talked about news, and I actually showed you Benzinga Pro here a bit. So what's the news out on back? Rich may have reposted earlier, but I'm just checking myself now. I didn't check the news myself earlier, but let's see. I don't have any news. I got no news. Check right here, if anything. Maybe it slipped under the radar. Among healthcare movers, among pre-market gainers, there's no news attached to this. So this seems to just be like some sort of just short squeeze, random, short covering perhaps. Maybe there's news to come out perhaps like later on today, tomorrow, whatever. But you know what? I'm going to keep it on our list. We're not just going to, follow a stock because it has news. And on the flip side, there could be a very good takeable opportunity on a stock, even if there's no catalyst behind it. So back on our list, stock I'm in right now, PCSA. I was looking for a push up to 250, so I finished up the back trade, and then I walked pretty much head into this because it was beginning to make a sneak move back over 239. You know what? I'll even save this for our class coming up. We're going to talk all about setting stops, taking profits. I'll probably roll into the live class still in this trade, so long as it doesn't stop me out here. But you know what? I'm looking for the re-break over 250. Looks like I might not be getting it just yet. Pulling back to my 239. It's been holding it pretty nicely after I'd entered. Decent entry, but if that's such a big level, we should be seeing such a big move shortly after. And if we're not getting that higher high, got my stop set. So, you know what? PCSA, it's still holding here. I'm going to put it on our list just for that reason, if anything. Still holding a higher low. Hopefully I don't get stopped out here, but yeah, what we'll do is go right from top to bottom now, though. Really, we'll just kind of build up our list pretty quick. Market's dropping back down a little bit here. It was a murky morning, so not a whole lot to really talk about otherwise so far. I mean, again, the miners moved up pretty well. We'll probably run into them a bit here. There we go. Just filtering out my scanner here. So back, we already talked about back. Top percent gainer for the time being. BRFH. Nope. I mean, maybe actually, because, hopefully sooner rather than later. I mean, that was the thought earlier in the morning and it just kept dropping. So you'd figure eventually maybe the stock can squeeze back up to a small degree, to a fractional level there. Maybe not go back up to 350, 450 early in the morning, but maybe can get up to two, like a 30, 35 cent push up to two. That'd be pretty solid. So I'll come back to this trade really if you need me to. Get it back. No, I'm kidding. But BRFH we will return to at least after we finish up everything else. But so we got back, we got PCSA, and we'll just keep going through for the time being. Ooh, starting to pop. Hold up. See on the lower right, folks, you can always keep track there. Lower right, looks like we got a sudden pop. I want to watch this live here because, obviously we'll talk more about it in our class, but this could be a pretty interesting move here. It retested 250 earlier at like 1:30 Eastern time. And the more times it nips it in a smaller concentration, then perhaps we get that better push, right? So thankfully my support did hold. I don't know if it's going to do it right now. I don't want to watch the grass grow for like 3 minutes, drive with you here. So we'll probably come back to this trade as we keep going through, but I saw it pop up a bit. I was like, oh, you might get that breakout here coming up. So just be mindful of that here. So the MNY trade we said we'd come back to if we needed to there at the end. IZM. Broke a new high earlier, but the order book is just too thin. I'm not really a fan of that. We already have the back trade on our watch list for right now. Air pulling back. Looks like gold miners are doing pretty good alongside the crypto miners here. NEM, GDX. They're holding. They're just not really like volatile as like, really strong pops into the afternoon. They're steady. We like that. They're good swings. GDXU. Probably got Nugget here at some point. NUGT. Yeah. NVIDIA ETF on there. I got a couple other trades that we're familiar with. GOTU. It's not really trading a lot of volume compared to what we normally see it. So past there. TAL, I'd imagine the same because they're in kind of the same sector, same business. NKGN. Hollow is a good trade from earlier today. That was like the trade of my morning, if anything, that kept me afloat. So it ended up leading to a pretty good push, at least in the morning session. Then even ended up making a higher low and bounced as we were in class, the phase 2 class together there. Oh, here we go. I caught you here. Don't worry. Live reaction, busted over 250. Let's see what happens here right now. It's a key level. If my thought is going to be true, then we should see a pretty decisive reaction off this 250, if anything. I was hoping for the 239 to act as that backup level, and so far it has. But we're still not out of the weeds just yet, out of the doghouse. Let's get this thing to rip and run pronto, now. You know what I mean? So hopefully sooner rather than later. So you know what? Honestly, outside of the back and the PCSA, there isn't really a whole lot that I was too jumpy towards so far. We'll check out the miners right now, I guess, like the crypto ones. Riot, Mara, CLSK. Yeah, they're break even on the day, so wouldn't have found them on the gainers list. They were down early in the morning, but had a good comeback. Here. Definitely going to be on our B list, our side list. They're always tradable. So if you do well on them on a day-to-day basis, then you probably should put them on your personal watch list. That's all. All right, so let's see if there's anything looking just as good, if not better, from here. All right, so what goes up comes back down, but well, I guess I forgot that Hertz had earnings in the closing bell yesterday. We actually had them on our watch list yesterday this time of the day because they were up like 4 or 5%. I didn't realize that they had earnings after close. I still would have put them on our list, mind you, because who knows what if it was positive earnings and lead to breakout. But at a minimum, this was not a swing trade. This was a day trade, if anything. It was a dead trade, if anything, after 3 o'clock. It just died off a bit. But then obviously the news came out overnight, right after 4 p.m. So down 20% now. They are shortable. They are below the VWAP too, so that could be a decent play. But it's almost like too liquid actually here. I don't want to say it's like not tradable for that reason, but it's just going to be a little too slow for my liking. All right. So, geez, I think that's pretty much all I got here from the loser side. Is that it? I know that Rich had a couple good short call outs that he had earlier. Check out LUV. I saw that before. It wouldn't hurt to add LUV, low risk in the sense of just seeing if it can continue down. Meta, we're not going to follow at this stage. All like the blue chip, Magnificent Seven type stocks. We'll trade them in earnings like just on the mornings of, but then the afternoons we just don't really. It's rare that we would, unless it was like running up higher into the close, which is not, at least not yet. All right, so really quick, let me just check the chat. I know I commented earlier to Rich just because he had decent short opportunity there. It's on one stock, and I don't know if it's going to continue there at the time. What was it? BMY. That was it for Rich. Down 8-9% at the time. It doesn't hurt. I got big volume that just got filled roughly off of 44.70, 44.69. It's near the lows. As a short opportunity, see if it could break lower. Why not? All right, so let me know if anything else is looking good across the board, folks, just up or down. Yeah, air here then from Luis saying Microsoft and Google. That's all earnings after the close, so we will definitely be on top of that, or at least Rich will be for our students not joining me in phase 2. All of our gold, platinum, diamond students likely would be there with me, but let's see what we got. Air. Nah, not really interested there. MSFD, I don't know, these are all pre-earnings here, the Microsoft Google combo. So, those will be ones to watch definitely for tomorrow morning. It's good that they report after the bell because it gives you so much time to figure out the levels. Go on Bookmap, see where the icebergs are throughout the after hours tonight, and then just be much easier for you to react to it come tomorrow morning when the market opens at least. So we'll likely be following Google. Microsoft a little more expensive, obviously, but we'll see if there's good opportunity there too. All right, so last call, folks. Let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than 5%. We said we'd come back to one trade, right? Like maybe one trade we said we'd come back to. What was the MNY? Nah, this isn't really doing it for me just yet. All right, so we keep it simple here this afternoon, folks, right? I always say, aside from the numbers of years experience, one of the things that Fausto does, pretty good at it, a lot better than me at, is keeping it super simple. A lot of times I see the opportunity in certain trades that, might just be easier for you to say, we'll come back to it if we need to. So I'll build out like a watch list, 8 stocks, 9 stocks, 10 stocks. And sometimes he does too, mind you, but I always like pumping out a watch list, like 3, 4, 5 stocks. That's it. Gives us a lot more, a better ability to just react. It's more concise, easier for us to react to altogether there. All right. So, hey, for all of our students, gold, platinum, diamond, look forward to seeing you in class. I should actually say silver, gold, platinum, diamond students. Typically, most go to gold initially. So with all that said, though, folks, phase 2 continuing along in about 20-25 minutes. Looking forward to it. All of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, YouTube, etc. A little late to the party here. I got some bad fingers on my dominant hand there. So on the lower left, popping up, at Cyber Trading You, be a friend, tell a friend. Always look to follow, subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. Know when we're going live, when we're not, all throughout the week, Monday through Friday. But if you've been there, done that already, and we're interested in joining us inside our live trading room, follow along with us otherwise on the PCSA trade. See if this can make the flip of 250 into support, make the higher high after that point. But scan that QR code on the top left with your phone, with your camera. Otherwise, as I always say, not everyone's as fancy with their technology. You can go right down to the scrolling green banner on the bottom of the stream here, c2.co/trial. Looking forward to seeing us all there shortly. Take care.